We're on a massive 2-month road trip from the top to the bottom of Aotearoa New Zealand to find the best food that New Zealand has to offer. And today we're in Dunedin, which is in the South Island, and it is the second biggest city in the South Island of New Zealand.
With this huge New Zealand series, we want to share with you what makes New Zealand food culture so special. And today in Dunedin, we're going to take you to one of our favourite restaurants in the city. It's a very special restaurant that specialises in seafood, and it's one of the nation's heritage restaurants. Aotearoa New Zealand has a rich food culture that revolves around the land and the fresh food it provides. In this massive New Zealand series, we're travelling the length of Aotearoa to take you into the heart of New Zealand's cuisine. We'll go behind the scenes of New Zealand's favourite restaurants, introduce you to small producers and family-run businesses that create some of Aotearoa's best food, and share how New Zealanders gather and cook from the land. In this episode, we're in the city of Dunedin in Te Waipounamu, the South Island. We take you into a Dunedin institution, a seafood restaurant which has been serving up one of New Zealand's national dishes, fish and chips, since 1932. You don't want to miss this series. Hit subscribe and get ready for some mouth-watering food.
I'm Thomas.
And I'm Sheena, and we're chasing a plate.
We hope you're hungry. Let's eat.
I love wandering around Dunedin. Dunedin was built on the riches of the gold rush, and so there are a lot of beautiful buildings, a lot of Edwardian and Victorian architecture, so it's a beautiful city to wander around, and it's also very compact, so it's a very walkable city. But it's a bit of a grey and gloomy day today, so we're going to get out of the rain and head to one of our favourite places to eat when we're in Dunedin, and it is just up ahead. It is this spot here, Best Cafe. Let's go and get some fish and chips. When you walk into Best Cafe, it's like stepping back in time. So this place has been here since 1932, and I absolutely love the decor. It's super kitsch. So you've got vinyl tablecloths, you've got old school touches like the vinegar in the glass bottles. It's got a really nostalgic feel about it. There's the takeaway section just behind me, and we're sitting at the best table at Best Cafe, which is the 4-mica table with a gorgeous view of the street. Awesome, thank you. I'll go one piece, thanks.
Lucky enough to come behind the scenes here at the Best Cafe and watch the fish and chips being prepped. So they have the restaurant, they also have the takeaway side of the business. So it's a hive of activity in here. Amazing seafood being cooked. The fish looks so golden and crispy. I cannot wait to eat this. Such a cool place. We wanted to start this meal with an absolute classic. So we've got a few courses coming, but we started with the shrimp cocktail. So a classic shrimp cocktail in the little stainless steel bowl, and it comes with a lemon and tomato, but in an oyster shell. So that's a bluff oyster, an incredibly famous oyster from the south of New Zealand. And then always at Best Cafe you get bread and butter. So the butter comes in a bluff oyster shell as well, and just plain bread. So really harking back to that traditional style of these types of cafes where you would always get the bread and butter, and it's things like that that they keep doing. That's why people keep coming here. It's incredibly classic dishes done very well. Oh, I cannot wait to get into this meal.
Time to dive into this shrimp cocktail. So boiled shrimp, tossed in Thousand Island dressing. A ton of shrimp in here. Let's get a decent mouthful. The shrimp is cooked perfectly, so still a bit of bounce. It's not just mushy. The Thousand Island dressing is very creamy. It's such a nostalgic dish, shrimp cocktail, and then you're sitting in this atmosphere. I love it. So Best Cafe has been around since 1932, and as Thomas was saying, there's a lot of tradition with this dining experience. They haven't changed a lot, and the current owner is actually the great granddaughter of the man who first established this cafe. So it's got a great history. It's a real heritage eatery. New Zealand's not a really old country, and so heritage eateries like this are very rare, which is why it's very special to be eating here. Yum, thank you.
Fish and chips have arrived. We got blue cod and chips. So we're in the South Island, quite near the bottom of New Zealand at the moment, here in Dunedin. And down here, the fish of choice is blue cod. So we had to order blue cod today. And now fish and chips, I've got to talk about fish and chips because it's really probably one of the most common meals you'll have in New Zealand. It's often a takeaway meal. So very common to have it as a takeaway food, but you also get it at a lot of restaurants. But it's very uncommon to have a place like this with this nostalgia about it and this beautiful feel. The best cafe just has such a feel about it. You kind of feel like you're eating in a museum, and I absolutely love this place. But as well as having all of that behind it and all that heritage, they do it so well. I mean, look at that golden fish. So a piece of battered blue cod, beautifully golden. Look at it just flaking off as I touch it. Hand cut chips underneath, some slaw and some little sides. So let's get the lemon all over the fish, cover it in lemon. We've got some tartare sauce here as well, and we've got the classic Kiwi tomato sauce dispenser. I love these little things. They're very common in a New Zealand household. But we get some tartare sauce on here, straight into this cod. Bit of the crispiness on there. Look at that perfectly cooked cod. Oh. Oh, that is good. So well cooked. When you're cooking fish in oil like that, sometimes it gets overdone, gets squeaky on the teeth. That is just perfectly cooked. So moist. I'm going to put a little bit of vinegar on my chips. Get real English style on this. Bit of salt straight on there. Nice vinegared chip. Salt and vinegar. Very good chips as well. One heck of a meal and one heck of a cafe. I mean, it's just so perfectly cooked, so perfectly done, and you're in such a great environment. It's so good.
We are both stuffed full of fish and chips. Those chips are cooked in beef dripping, so they're extra rich, really grunty. So good. But we couldn't pass up the opportunity to finish the meal with a classic sundae. So 3 scoops of vanilla ice cream, chocolate sauce, there's some sprinkles, some nuts, and a chocolate fish, which I'm gonna leave for Thomas because that's his favorite. All right, let's dig in. Oh yeah. Just classic. So good. I love that you also don't get a choice as to what ice cream you're given. It's just vanilla. And I love that about this place. It's just doing traditional dishes and meals really well, taking you back to your childhood or yesteryear, that nostalgic sense of dining. This has got to be the coolest place in Dunedin. So happy to be here.